Alrighty, folks. What up, Shadow Gauge here. I am sorry about my camera. It is more or less my lighting is making my camera not work. But that doesn't mean I can't do a video for y'all. I'm going to show y'all how to do a proper mix down. We are starting from the beginning because if you're going to do this right, always start with the end in mind. Now, if you are new to production and you're just trying to fast track things, I mean, here is your fast track. I'm going to go over a few of the necessities I feel. It's not really that expensive to get started in music production, but you got to make sure you're not spending your money in the wrong places. Number one, if you're thinking about music production and you already have a Mac, by all means, use the Mac. If you are looking at what computer to buy for music production, before diving into a $5,000 Mac setup, try the couple $100 PC setup first. The big expense is going to be software, of course. So Ableton will always give you a free 90 days or 60 days or whatever. So, you can try out Ableton, you can try out other ones. Fruity Loops is probably the cheapest to start with. So if you're just playing around and you don't know what to get to play around, probably Fruity Loops. That way you're not invested too much. If you are dead serious about doing production, then you're going to want some real software here. So what I use is Ableton, but I've used Fruity Loops. I've used Cubase. I've played on Pro Tools a little bit. It wasn't too much different than Cubase, and it's all pretty much the same. It's just what nuances they have. I like Reason a lot too. I used Reason for a while. Wasn't really a big fan of the output, but I heard it does VSTs now. But either way, I am working in Ableton. And regardless of what regardless of what DAW you're in, your VSTs are probably your most important part of your arsenal. So, for that, the two pieces of software I say are a 100% must have in order to be a successful producer, quote unquote. You have to have Ozone and you have to have Complete. Thing is, if you're just, you could say get by on just having Serum, and maybe a couple plugins. But the instant you go into that, you've already, I mean, Serum, you get Serum and Portal, and you're already basically at the cost of NI Complete. So spend the extra $200. The DAW I'm in is about $800. So that altogether is about 1,200. Let's see, was that 12? About 1,400. So the computer I have is about $50. It was just a cheap Dell from like 2005, but it's still an i7. It does its job, as you can tell. I have I have two microphones. I always recommend having two microphones if you're actually going to do vocals, just because it makes layering easier. But I also have a patch bay that I spent about $75 on, and that's what my mic's hooked up to. I have about $200 worth of mics, $75 patch bay, $50 computer, $200 video card. Not the best video card, if I zoom in too tight, it's we're good on one file, but like if I had like five audio files, it would slow down if I zoomed in very much, and that's a limitation of the video card. And yeah, I've had that argument with people. I just want to slap them, because it's like, yeah, try throwing Titan in there and see how many channels you can like zoom in on, dude. You can zoom in on everything. It looks beautiful, and it's like 60 frames a second. And they're like, oh, no, your video card doesn't do that. No, it's not your video card, dude. You need to spend more money on your processor. Like, yeah, shut up. Anyway, I also have an Akai MPK Mini, which is perfectly fine. I'm not like super skilled on the keyboard, but I'm decent enough to be able to play what I need to play. Um, I'm good at finger drumming, but I've had a lot of practice finger drumming. Um, you know, and yeah, so it's basically, oh, and then I'll talk about the headphones. Um, if you want studio monitors or, nice studio monitor headphones, I mean, I won't necessarily recommend against it, but I would recommend there's better options. You could always spend your money on a I mean, just get the nicest, get the most, get what most people are buying. If somebody's serious audiophile, whatever speakers they're listening to their music on when they're walking down the street or headphones, you know, go with that. Don't go with studio monitors. I mean, if you got the money to throw around, then hey, but you're gonna go broke pretty quick as a producer. That's almost a guarantee starting off. So just you know, keep it simple for the start of it. I would say is probably some of the best advice. Especially considering you're looking at $800 on the DAW, $400 on Ozone, and another $600, $700 on Complete. But that with the $120 keyboard, $150 keyboard, $200 headphones, and about $75 in speakers, so $200 in mics. Yeah, it's not necessarily a cheap investment, but that all that together still costs less than an Apple. Just saying. Um, or you could buy a Mac and get a $20 pair of headphones and spend $200 on Logic and probably not do much with a music career, since everybody and their mom has Logic, and the only people more people have Fruity Loops, mind you, but Logic is a close second. So, and all that material is the same material everybody else uses. So Ableton is much more like an open, like, it's not so much coloring book as much as it's like an artist tab. So it's a blank slate. So going into this, now that I'm done talking, let's see how much time have I wasted here for you. Let's see. I'm looking at only 7 minutes. Only took me 7 minutes to get through that. I'm clapping myself. Okay, so we are starting with the end in mind. We're going over the rule of 300. I'm going to show you how to do a proper mix, when to dither, and basically, you don't even really need to use your ears on this. This is all pretty much cut and dry. When you get into the mixing process, a lot of people tell you, oh, use your ears. I mean, you do to a certain extent, but you're going to want to use your ears on the actual sound. So, I'm starting here with nothing more than a loop and my contact. Now, the reason I have contact, normally I would be using my Audio drivers and not having any latency, but that is not an option because of the whole recording thing. Um, so I guess it could be an option. I just have to record my audio separately on another channel, which it would just probably be a little more confusing. But anyway, not going there. So I'm just going here. Now, when I'm starting this, I'm just trying to come up with a quick groove. And this is not to say this is how you write a song, but this is a good way to get started. And, just, if you're trying to get some quick inspiration, having your groove set is perfect. Another thing you can do is find an old song, throw it on there, fucking low pass it, and just listen to the groove from that and just mimic it and then make that your groove. I don't know. There's a lot of starting points. Just the fact of the matter is, if you're sitting there going, oh God, I don't know what to write, then you don't have enough options in front of you. Because once all your options are laid in front of you, you're going, oh, well, let's see. Which option do I want to start with today? Oh, just close my eyes and randomly point at one. Okay, so that's the one I'm doing right here. My option today is I'm sitting here with a keyboard in front of me, and I'm going to finger tap out a groove over a drum beat. So let's see what this sounds like. Boom. Yeah. Boom. And then we're going to hit that nifty little square button there. We're going to back this up. And we are going to double click it because we only want the 8 bars here. So let's just go to there's 4 bars and we're going to go to 8. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and loop and look at where this starts. Boom, 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 boom. Probably the far loop here, so let's see what that sounds like. And okay, so that's almost a good groove, but it's definitely off. So I'm going to want to edit this, but I'm going to edit it by hitting, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control 1, and that's going to put me into 32. And then I'm going to hit Control 3, and that's going to put me in triplet mode. And that's where all my adjustments are going to be made, is in 30-second triplets. For the time, let's go ahead and kill that. I'm just going to click that, click, go back. I'm using the arrow keys because it's just the quickest, easiest way to do this part of the process. Again, 32, and I want to keep it human, so that's why I'm doing this. You know, I'm just very slightly adjusting it. Let's just click and go to 32. So there, boop, and boop, and see what that sounds like. That sounds good right there. You know, and that's really what I found is that, you know what, if anytime you're in the groove or you're off, it's best to just, you don't want to quantize it to the 16th, quantize it to the 30-second triplet. But you're gonna have to do it manually. Don't try to auto quantize it. But there's no reason to, you know, no reason to be perfect on it. And there, see what it sounds like. Gotta adjust the groove a little here. Perfect. There we go. That is a nice, perfect groove. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some MIDI channels. So I'm just going to hold down Control Shift and then hit T 4 times. And the idea of this, I have a sub and then lead, and then and then I'm going to have my basically my two alternate basses. So that way my my drop is meh. It's not it's an effective way of writing. So for this, I'm actually going to use Massive for all these. I mean, I did have Serum at some point, but meh. I mean, do the same thing with Massive. The fact of the matter is I normally don't even use Massive except for my sub. And even then, a lot of times I won't use Massive for my sub. I'll actually use some of the raw pop and stuff. But I have the ones I enjoy. I like the sub boom bass. I like the RG. It's good for getting some nice snazzy guitar stuff. And the Predator. Also have Blade and Albino. And yeah, those, I mean, they're not too expensive, a couple $100, give you a little extra flavor in the mix. Also, this pt1 EQX is great. It's free, makes your shit sound good. Another thing that's good is this Chanev. It's I forget who makes it, but if you look Chanev, it'll pop up. It's great. It's great for like a bus for your vocals inputs. And it's also free, so you don't have to spend money on that. Yeah, and then there's FabFilter, which is a joke. If you bought it, I'm sorry. If you think it's good, I'm even sorrier. I mean, the graphics are nice, but that's pretty much all you're paying for. When it comes down to it, it's not able to do what it's not able to do what the graphics are telling it. So regardless of what the graphics say, it doesn't necessarily do it. Vital is amazing. If I'd much rather use that over Serum, but for this, I'm just going to be using Massive. And then there's also the Terrell in 6. It's not a bad one. It's definitely wavetable, so it's pre-recorded sounds, but they're recorded at a high quality, so it's nice. Yeah. Oh, and then Arteria, I just got this tape mellow. That thing's cool. I do like that. This is an also leveling tool, ADHD. There's also a TV audio MV meter. That's great. Understanding how your shit works is fine. But then again, what I'm doing here is going to make it so you're just doing it automatically. You don't need to necessarily dial anything in. So, okay. So there's the breakdown for some of the stuff. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more MIDI channels down here. So insert MIDI track, and then insert MIDI track. And on this one, I'm going to go over here to my samples. And, well, what did I just do? I'll just click something I didn't want to click. Okay, so drum hits, I'm going to go, let's see, where's my kick? All right, so, yep, I'm just going to double click kick, put it there, go over here to the snare. Yep, double click the snare, put it there, Control Shift T, and let's see, what about hi-hat? Yep, that's fine. Okay, so now I have hi-hat, drums, kick, basic bass, everything's nice and set. Oh, you know what? I am forgetting something. Let's go ahead and just Control Shift T, T. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more channels of spice here for, helping out. One will be a blade and the other will be a predator. I like just the very, very savage names. Arg, it's a predator. Okay, so we have this here. We're going to want to take this and we're just going to copy it down because there's not really much reason not to, and we're just going to chop this stuff. Okay, so let's turn off this channel. I'm just gonna move this over here. I did this earlier and had the audio messed up because, you know, I'm a moron. Anyway, let's click that. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, so this I can tell, oh, it's not dead on. So I'm just gonna hold down Alt and delete what I don't want here. Probably pull this back a little. But I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this. I just like using Alt. Going to. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna delete this. And then I'm gonna slide this to there. And delete this. And delete that. Okay, so there's my general pattern. The rest of it's just meh. I'm just gonna go ahead and chop it right there. Yeah, I'll chop it right there. Keep it short so you could go into other stuff, but I'm just, you know, like I said, this is more of a mix down. So it's kind of giving you a semi idea of, you know, way to break down the tracks so you can, you know, do some nifty stuff. I guess I just need to control D on, oh, what, oh, wrong button. There we go. Okay, so pop that over, and I just hit Control D there. If you're not, that's how you duplicate. I mean, pretty much most of what I do is off of just, you know, shortcuts are the way to go. So for this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna hit take all this and Control C, Control V, 1, 2, 3, 4, Control C, Control V, 1, 2, 3. Except I'm going to take the second half and I am going to take the middle one and I'm just going to put it down. So there. So now it's. Okay. And let's go into the Predator. I'm going to find an arpeggiator in the Predator. Let's see here what we've got. Oh, I don't want to do dance. Let's see. Where's my drum and bass? I know I got drum and bass. I have drum and bass everywhere. It's what they call a drum and bass head. Yep, then DB sessions. Where's my ARPs? I could go to leads. Secrets. Some liquid trance, and for the blade, Alright, so another thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit Control, Control, gosh darn it. Okay, so I'm just going to Control J those, and then turn these off, because that's just annoying me. Alright, so, Let's see, Predator. I just want to stretch these across here. Okay. So there's that. Let's go into our sub. And you know what? Yeah. So one of the things I do love about Massive is if you come in here, I can just go and I can just load my own banks, you know, which I always have off-site. So let's see here. Okay. So now for the first one, we're gonna want something kind of drivey, screamy out the door. Let's see. My massively, my massively thick Reese's are probably what I'm gonna go for here. Okay, that sounds good, but um, let's see, reverb. I'm going to want to attach that to this. Okay. Okay. So there's that, and for the reverb, this is pretty much, you're going to want to do this is because you want a dry transient. So in order to do this, we're just going to configure and we're going to adjust this there. So all the way down means dry. So if it's down, nothing there. All the way up is going to be all the way wet. So it doesn't really move much. So it's just wait, and it's just that little area there. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that this is not on and hit A, and that's gonna pull up this. And basically we just want to probably go into about 32nd note, 16th note. Yeah, probably 16th is fine. And we're just going to clip it one in, put it before, and like this, and we're going to go do the same thing right here. And yeah, we're also going to want to be clipping that off. So okay, so easy enough. Just click and to do that. And that's all you're really doing. So now, see, that's, and you're always going to want to do that. You don't ever want, you know, big secret here, right? You just don't want, you just don't want wet transients. You want your transients to stay dry. And this is how you keep your transients dry. You can even adjust this up a little bit, you know, pull it in, give it a little thicker sound, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, maybe pull it down, make it thinner right there, thicker right there, and thinner right there. Just because, you know? And just because we're going to kill this here, there's a lot of ways you could do this. But this is one of the more practical ways. Just try not to do what I just did. So boom, boom.